The world that we live in today is one of great fortune and great misjustice at the same time. We live in a place where we have more than ever, and we have access to the internet showing us things that we would have never previously seen. This has, however, brought a dark side with it, and now we have access to looking at the lifestyles of the best people in the whole world, the most successful people, the richest, the people living our dreams. And this, whilst it has sort of enlightened us and it has taught us a lot, like I have to say, most of the stuff I know about business, I wouldn't know if it wasn't for the internet. And most of the money that I've made, in fact, all of the money that I've made for myself, would have not been able to be made if it wasn't for the internet. But there is a significant downside to the internet, and that is the ability to go online and scroll past hundreds of people living the lifestyle that you want. They're exactly where you want to be, doing exactly what you want to do. Now, this is all well and good for them, but it also leaves a bit of a subconscious message in our heads. It leads us into feeling that we're not where we should be in life and we're not where we want to be heading, we're not on the right path. When in actuality, when we zoom out and look at our life, we're probably doing tremendously well. What I'm saying here is that whilst the internet has brought an age of opportunity, it's also brought a toxic culture of comparing ourselves to those who have in opposed to us who have not. Now, relative to some people in the world, we are all doing amazing. If you have the ability to watch this video on the internet, you're doing pretty well. And you probably have somewhere nice and warm to sleep, a family that loves you, and hopefully some friends which you're happy with. But there are these extra things that we don't necessarily need, but we do want. And this is where things start to get a little bit complicated in relation to comparisons of other people. Before the internet, we only had our friendship group and the people that we saw on the street to compare ourselves to. If you saw one Ferrari drive past a year, that was what you saw. Now though, you can see Ferraris all the time on YouTube, TikTok and Instagram, and you think this is the norm, when in actuality this is just a small portion of the population. And it's that small portion of the population who take to the internet to show their cars off and their watches off, because that's the people that we all aspire to look like. No one really wants to drive some generic Toyota, which is why people who drive Toyotas don't flex their cars on the internet, because it's only a flex if people are inspired or motivated by it. But why am I bringing this up? I think it's because it's very important context to the point that I'm trying to make. You can go out there, you can find people who are living the ultimate lifestyle right now, and you sit there and think, why am I not? And this can create a very toxic loop. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't not aspire to have these fancy things. What I am saying though is you should aspire to do what you wish, as we spoke about in one of our previous videos. Do what you want, not what other people want you to do. And also on top of that, you must understand what goes into this. I've seen the analogy before, but it really is an iceberg effect, and I think some people need to hear this because not many people fully understand this. If somebody's telling you about their business, even if they're telling you about the fact that they got rich in 6 months, I do believe that that's true, but how many years of failure came before the 6 months of rapid success? A lot of the time, this is what people do not want to speak about. And that's why I wanted to make this channel. I want to show you the good sides and the bad sides of success and failure. I want to show you what it really looks like and how the path really progresses. But on the internet, for most influencers, this is not what they want to describe. They just want to show you the wins and how things work positively. Oftentimes because they have a product to market to you in the first place. And this is what you must understand. Whilst I'm not saying that everybody who markets fancy stuff on the internet, or even who markets products, has negative intentions, what I am saying is you need to understand the context of this. You think that these people went from being just like you to being millionaires in 6 months, when in actuality, they were probably doing a side hustle alongside working their job, and that is if they were even legitimate to begin with. Some of these people are simply put influencers or fake officials who like to talk about stuff that they don't fully understand in the hopes of selling you an overpriced course marketed by some expensive goods in the background. What I'm trying to say here is, whilst a life of luxury is one that we all apparently want, not everybody wants what comes with it and the hardship that you have to go through to face it. And this is what social media fails to portray. Social media likes to show you influencers who have these luxury items and will happily promote you a watch-based channel or a car-based channel, but they won't talk about how their owners were able to afford these cars. I mean, I know there's that one guy on TikTok that goes around asking people how they were able to afford their cars, and I really think that is a positive channel to subscribe to. But with the exception of that and a couple of others, not many people online like to talk about the real truth and the grit that goes into running businesses. Because these people don't wake up in a 9 to 5, go to sleep, then wake up the next day in a mansion. There was something that they had to do to get there. And whether it did take them 6 months of extremely hard work or 16 years of continuous grinding, they were able to get there in the end. But you need to understand what goes into this. So whilst you can look and see somebody that's doing better than you, probably even at a younger age than you, are they legitimate? Are they doing this in a way that you would like to do? And is it really what you need or want to achieve? Not everybody's a big car fan, so why should you want to have a Ferrari or a Lamborghini? Not everybody likes watches, so why should you have a Rolex? Not everybody likes designer clothes, so why does that matter? You don't need to aspire to other people's ideals just to impress others. What you must do though is ask why these people are where they are. Don't look at people's fancy cars on the internet thinking how much does that cost? Look at it thinking how were they able to get that? And that will be a much more insightful angle to have. Then you will be left with a list of business ideas if you write this down. Probably 20 business ideas if you watch 20 TikTok videos for instance. And you'll see people and you'll think about the businesses that they're in. This will give you your initial avenue to start researching into the stock market, into investing, into running a business. All of these concepts that you can utilize to begin your journey to wealth. But the thing is, these people who have exceptional results, they did exceptional things. And you've got to ask yourself, do you want to be the person sat on Instagram in 15 years, or 10 years, or 5 years, or 6 years, depending on what it is that you want to achieve? Do you want to be that person sat there flexing the car yourself? And what do you need to do to get there? Because this often goes missed. People like to look at the glamorous top side, but they massively underestimate the hard work that goes into this. And I just wanted to shine a bit of a light on it. So I think comparing ourselves to other people is one of the toxic things that we can do. I think the reasons for that is because it inspires a culture of kind of pessimism, thinking these people have and we have not. And I also believe it creates a general vibe of just not understanding the important things in life. I'm not saying that you shouldn't want to have these things. What I'm saying though is you need to understand the work that goes into this and then ask, are you willing to do what it takes? If you are, I'm sure you guys can do amazingly, and I'm sure you'd like to join us on this journey, because I am documenting my progress in business and my personal life and my personal growth and development on this channel. So if you enjoy that sort of content, don't forget to subscribe, as I like to make content like this every single day. Thank you so much for watching, and I do hope to see you in our next episode. As always, see you soon.